The book I want to introduce is called I Call My Grandma Nana by Ashley Wolf. At the bottom, it actually also says, what do you call your grandma? And that's kind of the whole premise of this entire book. It's a fun book I happened to find on a discard type table and paid $1.50 for it. But I couldn't pass it up. The pictures are just amazing and beautiful, and I love the idea. I had a couple different kinds of grandmas, and I'm going to introduce them at the end. But I wanted to introduce the book first. This book starts with a teacher in her classroom bringing her a visitor, her own grandma, who she calls Nai. I think that's how you say that. And on the wall behind you can see they've had a class project where they've all drawn pictures and have a few words on the wall. The book then goes through and actually explains what many of those pictures are and what the kids have done. And they all share things about their grandmas. The pictures are very fun, and each page has a different name for a grandma, and different activities that the children have done with their grandmas. My granny has a telescope. We love to look at stars. I've seen the Little Dipper and the bright red planet Mars. So as you can see, the words rhyme, and there's lots of different pictures, colorful pictures. The art style is collage art. So she has taken paper and created pictures as well as combined with drawing. And the faces are all done with drawing. It's a beautiful book. It talks about lots of different kinds of grandmas, different activities. They all look very different. One of my favorite things that she does include, besides the diversity of different cultures and races, is that she includes every kind of grandma. This page says, Nini is my real grandma, but she still lives so far away. So Ruth is next door Nana when I need a hug today. So even for kids who might not have a grandma close, they can see that there are other people who come into their lives and can play that, fill those roles, which I think is great. None of my grandparents lived near me when I was growing up, so I used to visit my friends, one of my best friends, her grandparents, for holidays and stuff, and her grandma was so sweet. She never treated me any different than the other grandkids, and I really appreciated having fill-in grandmas. There's lots, like I said, there's lots of fun pictures. This shirt is super fun that she's wearing. It's all done out of paper, but look at the great face that's drawn. So this is definitely a picture book and has just fantastic pictures. Also at the very end, oh, this is a good picture to show you. You can see that the student is showing his I read with my Nana and Eli. So this would be a great book in a classroom setting. A teacher could do a lot of fun things with this, but it's also a fun book to teach kids at home, teach about all kinds of things. This is a whole list of names that she uses throughout her stories about and where they come from. So that Abuelita is Spanish, Babushka is Russian. So you can kind of see that there's where these names come from and some other fun names. This is a great picture book. As far as meeting the criteria, the illustrations definitely correspond with the content of the story. Each one matches the description of what the activities are on each page. And they also complement the setting. They enhance the characters, and the one thing that I really did like was the diversity that I found in this book. It showed so many different cultures and different activities. One grandma's a pilot and she drives a fast car. Another grandma's more typical and does gardening. But there's lots of different things, so that I think she covered a lot of the different types of grandmas that are out there. Although she addresses as a stereotype, she also talks about the ways things don't necessarily fit into that stereotype. I think this book would appeal to most children, particularly the younger children, maybe 4 to 8. In a classroom, I would say first, second graders would love this book. The theme is very worthwhile, talking about relationships with grandmas and other people, the elderly, and the connections that kids can have and the things they can learn from them. One page actually even talks about teaching their grandma how to do something, which is fun. It's very appropriate for children. The style and language is easy to read, but still fun, and like I said, it rhymes. A great book. Before I end, I wanted to introduce you to a few of my favorites people, and this is my mama and papa. My mama was my grandma. I was lucky enough to have them move closer to me as an adult, and the relationship I have with her, I still miss her every single day. And when I get down about school and how hard it is, I know she's cheering me on, because if there was somebody who would want me to have an education, it would be her. She grew up in a time period where education was maybe not as sought after for girls, and yet she still did so much. She was always reading, she was always learning, she was always working so hard, and I know she would be cheering me on, especially with my schoolwork. So when I get down, she's my cheerleader in heaven. So hopefully you get a chance to find this book. Maybe check out some of the others. Ashley Wolf has illustrated lots of books and is a fantastic both writer and illustrator. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.